The EFF and SAFTU are leading this march against rolling blackouts. They're also wanting the resignation of the president of the country. Julius Malema calling on his members to come out in their numbers. The government, as we reported earlier, responding by deploying over 3,000 soldiers and police officers to maintain order. Now, bearing in mind, as I say that is from the 17th of March, so we go back a few days, that same order will be in place until the 17th of April. As I mentioned at the start of the show, our reporters are around the country keeping you up to date with what's going on. Manqoba Mchunu is at the Paul Kruger Square in Pretoria. Let's head over there now and see what it looks like at 25 minutes after 6. Manqoba, hello to you. Give us a sense of what it looks like where you are now. I'm not seeing too much presence behind you, but as I say that, I see in the distance some people. I'm not sure if that's part of the shutdown or not. How are we looking?
Well, certainly, Gareth. In fact, we are seeing just a small group of EFF supporters starting to gather here this morning. Of course, we are also seeing quite a lot of activity as far as, the transportation of people is concerned. I'm just going to ask my colleague, Sihlengiti, just to give you a picture of what's happening here. What you're seeing there behind me, Gareth, are those members of the EFF, presumably members of the EFF. We've seen some of them arriving this morning, but not quite the numbers that we had, been expecting to find at this particular time. But to understand that this is where some of them will be converging here this morning ahead of the national shutdown. Of course, you recall, Gareth, that there has been quite a number of activities, quite a number of night visuals that are held in different areas around Johannesburg and Pretoria. And of course, we're told that some of the campuses have also been affected, and the EFF Student Command in some of the campuses saying that they are going to ensure that they bring learning to a standstill in some of those institutions. But just looking around, Gareth, here in Pretoria, we've seen quite a lot of activity as far as transportation of people is concerned. We're seeing buses that are operating here this morning here at the Paul Kruger Square that are ferrying people that are going to work, seemingly going to work. But I can tell you that there's also quite a huge police contingent that we're seeing around the streets of Pretoria, but not only here, but towards Pretoria. As you head to Pretoria on the N1, there are police that are stationed there around the freeways that are heading here towards Pretoria. And what seems to be confusing at this particular point, Gareth, is exactly where they are going to be meeting this morning. We know that there have been quite a number of areas that have been, earmarked by police as some of the hotspots that they'll be looking into. And one of those areas is this particular area where we are, which is Paul Kruger Square. But also we're told that they might be gathering at some of the parks here around Pretoria. But what we're seeing now, Gareth, is people that are seemingly going to work. It doesn't seem like the transportation has been disrupted so far. We're seeing taxis that are coming in. And you recall, Gareth, that of course Santaco has indicated that they're not going to be part of this particular shutdown that is taking place here today. We're seeing buses from the Swane municipality that are also ferrying quite a number of commuters here this morning. And of course, a huge police presence here on the ground. The EFF members, we're seeing them coming into this particular area, some of them walking from the taxi stations here around here. But it doesn't seem like at this particular point, Gareth, that this protest will start anytime soon. In fact, the indications are that it seems like this EFF members are still gathering, and those that will be partaking in this particular protest are still gathering. So we're still going to see, Gareth, how this unfolds. But I can certainly tell you that there are a lot of police here on foot, some of them patrolling here, some of them in vehicles around this particular area, which of course is expected to be one of the gathering points here in Pretoria.
All right, Manqoba, thank you very much indeed. We'll go back to you again in Pretoria a little bit later. Let's continue to crisscross the country here on eNCA, though.